Hello and welcome to my Sunday From. So today I have a mukbang and I'm excited. Today is a special day. If you guys know me and my channel, today is the most important holiday of the entire year. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. And so I made fried rice and I put some ketchup with some Valentina and mixed it. And then I made this milk drink. It's just vanilla. It's just vanilla milkshake flavored. And this is my cake and it's humble, but you know what? It got tight. So this is what I have. And I'm thankful for having what I have because I mean, I've been without for a very long time anyway. Before I lived outside, so I mean, you know what I mean? Like, whatever I have every year, it's another year of life, and I appreciate it. No matter if it seems humble to you guys, I think making this cake, I got up at like real early, like first thing in the first light. I was whipping it up and cooking, and I was like, this is gonna be the best cake I ever had. And like I said, it might be like a 2-ingredient cake, but you know what? It was like, it's my 46th birthday, and it was the most special cake I ever made. And some years I don't participate in my cake and all. I don't participate in that. It just comes together, and I love being hands-on, and I don't know, I just love making my own celebration. And like I said, today is a special day, so let's give our fried rice a try. This is good. I put hot dogs and onions. So I did a haul, and I'll show you guys what I got. I think I'm gonna put it in shorts so you guys can keep your eyes peeled for that. But this is like so good. I'm surprised. I made one whole ramen, so I'll have leftovers. And I do have this recipe already up. Let's try this milk drink. That's really good. I think it cuts the spiciness of the Valentina sauce and my ketchup. But I woke up in such a good mood. It's like I sensed my birthday was like today. Does that make sense? Like, when you're asleep, do you realize it's your birthday? I think I realized it was my birthday. So things are tight in the government, and we have a partial shutdown, which is way better than I was expecting. Yet once again, The most off-putting thing is when people have personal agenda and they're holding office as a policymaker. And I think this time around, some people are starting to realize and wake up and say, you know, don't stop. Don't stop the show this time because you want to make a name for yourself by starving people out and demanding things that even in a perfect world could never exist. And everybody was blaming the Democrats. And I think, you know, in government, I know there's no country in this world right now that can work together and flow ever so smoothly. Do it have to be a cause? And I think that's why we're the perfect country, because you know what? The foundation of our belief system was just literally, let's flow together. Let's succeed. Let's bring unity and create this government. And they didn't really need offices and titles and laws. But when they did that, you know, they created the great America that we speak of today around the world. The great free world as they know it, as we know it. The greatest nation that has ever been. And one that did break free of a colonist world. That survived conquering reigns and pulled through, united with everybody involved. Everyone agreed this was a good idea. And to this day, people look up to us and say, wow, your country is so special. And that's the America that I believe in. That's America that works. Without all those ideations, it couldn't function. Because where's the heart in that? Where's the passion? Where's the drive? When it's all for one and one for one, that doesn't spell out patriotism. It doesn't spell out a patriot. It doesn't spell patriot at all. And that's, you know, that's the formula for failure. Like they say, there's no I in team. Don't put your personal agenda into politics in a nation that is free. We boast freedom. And around the world, you know, a lot of our work drives the free world so that they may too, if they one day decide they want to live in a democratic society, they could do it, you know? And I think that's why I always bring, you know, to mind Greenland, because I understand people are concerned about colonism and conquering, but you got to understand that's what happened to Greenland. And that's why us leaving footprints behind in Greenland would be beneficial to Greenland. Because why? Because why do they want to be under the thumb of a country, that is far, far away? Countries away from them, on the other side of the world. But yet, they get to decide what happens in that country. They get to decide for the people of that country halfway around the globe how they're going to live. They decided their lifestyle for them. And that's not cool. So when people bring up these points, key points, I don't see them as points as much as I see them as a point of view of a spoiled brat that wants to stick their nose where it doesn't belong. Because obviously, if you have your own, your own intentions in discussing certain topics, I don't think you're a politician as much as I think you're a chismosa or a divester at best. I think when you discuss things, it's because you're getting a reaction, kind of like a child, like a toddler. Like you mess with something, keep bringing things up because you love when someone goes, or go, or, they go, ah. Shocking. Like, and that's the mindset. There's no decorum. It's just oohs and ahs for them. They love it. It drives them wild. They do it again. And this time without decorum, no one clocks them, and they continue on until someone's demise. And it's sick. I think it's sick. You can't decide. You have to be so adamant that you're right. You, one person, an independent person, is right. And you're just so stubborn. Like, you can't rationalize what is before you. The things that you are reading, the things that you are hearing, it won't settle into your brain because you think that you know what is best. And what is best in your mind has an ulterior motive. Let's be honest. And that's why I think the shutdown is this, for them to continue using this toy, weaponizing our own government against us, the people. And I feel like, what if we did meet our demise? They would get what they wanted. They would take our country and name it something else, It'd be called AOC land or something. I don't know. But let's get into this cake. Let me see if I can cut it. It's like some people never know when to stop. They never learn. They never learn once you give them what they want for so long, even if it was forced. They don't know when to stop. You know that? And I feel like me thinking in my mind, what would Phyllis Wheatley do, sickens me, because they don't understand. They don't understand, how far this country has gone without people like that involved, And what we've been through because of people like that. They They don't get where they're not wanted. And I think there are some people who are just too stubborn to change. And that that continues my work, because I feel like if I can say something and they will listen, then I have done my part. And they have so many options in their career field as a politician that they can take any path and make their life that much better and make the people's lives that they serve that much better. And that's what drives me, is to serve the people better and decide for myself, how do I fit in this big picture? Not just as sitting chair, but just, as a, former, mayor, as a politician myself. I aspire to have a great title one day. And I think if I can just influence a little bit of peace in somebody's heart that is already, where they wanted to be in life, I think I can create an environment that people can come together and vote and speak rationally, casually, and accept all the peace that others bring around them. I think that's very inspiring to see and watch. And I think one day we can get there. And it's just like, the way the opposition works, it's one thing after another that they're tossing in there, but they don't understand. They're so delusional that we're in Trump's second term era. They can't digest that alone. So you're talking to sick people who believe that Kamala Harris actually won the presidency. And those people are gone. They're gone. They're gone. They're living in a dream. They're mentally unstable. Like, there's no such thing as that world that they live in. But that's where they live in their head, where it's sick, it's genocidal. And, and it undermines what a free world is, that people can live how they want, that they can eat, that they can have kids and their kids will thrive. That's just the base. But they can't offer that. They have zero to offer. They have zero value to offer. And demeaning what is a democratic nation, let alone yours, let alone ours, let alone our America. That's when they believe they started the fire. But I believe that they lost it. Not just their brain, not just their mind, but the drive in them to continue this, because literally their thesis was dismantled with the Democratic election, which is ironic alone. And, that's just it. That's just it. If you think that you can't switch up and, do something positive by not throwing out what is part of the government sector, you're just as guilty as anybody who tries dismantling, any government around the world. You're not special because you live in America, and that makes you an elite, special individual that's untouchable. You're just as liable. You're just as liable. And what I think you don't hold, and you should by now, and in the future, should you decide to continue on with personal agenda in policymaking, wherever you're at, or, personal agenda, whatever you're doing, I just, yeah. It's just, let me get my cake. Mm. I'm gonna show this to you. It's so dense. My favorite part is the sugar. I glazed it and then I put the numbers on there, but the numbers have cinnamon and it tastes so good. So far, my diet is working. And I've been eating really normal. And just random things, but I think that's what's key to my diet working, because I don't have to stick to one thing all the time. Mm. I'm gonna get some more of that cinnamon. I can't help it. It's almost like coffee cake. Mmm. If you want to see what I got, I think I uploaded it already, so you can go ahead and watch that. But the Nancy Guthrie case update was that they found DNA. So they're trying to find out whose DNA it was. And identify a suspect. So I went to go get more. I went to go get more because I can't stop eating. And I got a refill of my milk drink. So everybody's anticipating the suspect to be apprehended after there's been 5 arrests and nothing's turned out of them. I hear they just continue releasing them. 5? Can you imagine? But yeah, like I was saying, there's people that are playing with the government, like, and they literally cannot accept the fact that Donald J. Trump won another election. You know, and they're mentally unfit. Like, if you ask me, that's mentally unfit. How are you confident? You're not. You know, and they made the exception with Joe Biden. You know, not here is only because he got bullied. It's like, oh my gosh, you know how many people got bullied? You're gonna let them be president? In fact, I bet everybody in this country has been bullied. If you want to hold office, I think that's the least thing you could offer. You have zero talent, zero coping mechanisms. And zero, how do you call it? Mental aptitude? No way. No way. This must be where they get the phrase only in America. Literally. It could only be. Look at. Clean my plate. It's hola. Thank you guys for watching. This was a fun one. It reminds me of the good old times on my channel. And, you know, we look forward. I think we're going to have to look forward to having all these many more memories again and again. And the bigger my channel, the more opportunities we'll have to have, you know, gatherings and etc. So please subscribe if you haven't already. Give it a thumbs up, like, comment, share, subscribe. And like I said, I really think we have a lot more happy things to look forward to now, and we're not gonna just turn our backs now that the work is in front of us. I think last year was just clearing a path, and then we get to, you know, compartmentalize while they're coping, and then we'll take the trash to the curb, maybe sometime in the near future. But definitely there's a lot of good things in store, for sure. So thank you guys again, and I'll see you in the next one. My son different.